Hey, today we're going to switch gears and move back to circles, and we're going to talk about the area of circles. So just a reminder that the area of a circle is all of the space inside of the circle. And in order to find the area, the only thing we need to know is the radius of that circle. And the formula which you should be familiar with here is that the area is equal to pi times the radius squared. So if I want to find the area of a circle, I just need to know its radius. So if I want to know how much area is in this whole space in this circle, I can plug this 2 into my formula. 2 squared is 4. And so there's a couple ways that we can report our answer when we're trying to find the area. One way we often report it is in terms of pi. And so that means instead of doing 4 times pi in the calculator, I just leave my answer as 4 pi and then yards. The other way to show your answer is not in terms of pi, and that would just be to actually multiply 4 by pi on your calculator. And remember, pi is much more than 3.14, so there's a function on your calculator where you can multiply 4 by pi, and we'd get 12.57, and I rounded. Notice that the units are squared, yards squared, yards squared. Area always has units that are squared. Here's another way. Notice this time I have the diameter, so I just need to find the radius. The radius is half of the diameter, so my radius is 4 meters. And so I'm just going to plug 4 into my formula. And my answer in terms of pi is going to be 16 pi meters squared. My answer not in terms of pi, I'm just going to do 16 times pi in the calculator, and you get approximately 50.27 meters squared. So I want you to pause here and I want you to find the area of this circle. So my radius was 11, so I'm just going to plug 11 in. My answer in terms of pi is 121 pi inches squared. And my regular answer is just 380.13 inches squared. So area of a circle is something that you've done before, and we did it today just as sort of a reminder of how to find the area, because now we're going to find areas of sectors. So the area of part of a circle. And so remember, a long time ago this year, we had what we called central angles, and those were angles that were formed at the center of the circle. And those central angles were related to arcs. And the relationship was whatever that central angle was, that arc was as well. And so this angle or this arc is just a fraction of the entire 360 degrees of a circle. And so this area is just a fraction of the whole circle. And so if we take the area of the circle, pi r squared, and we multiply it by the arc or the central angle that makes our sector, divided by 360, we'll get the area of this sector. So basically what we're doing here, this arc divided by 360, it's finding out what percentage or what proportion of this whole circle makes up my sector. And then we multiply that by the area of the whole circle. So let's do one. Here I have a arc of 195 degrees because its central angle is 195 degrees. And my radius is 7, so I have my formula. I'll plug 7 in for r and 195 in for the arc. And so this fraction tells me what fraction of the circle is my sector. It's about 54% of the circle. 49 pi is how much area the circle has. So when I multiply 49 pi times this 0.54167, I get a area of just that sector, approximately 26.54 pi, or 83.38 yards squared. So my whole circle had an area of 49 pi. When I multiplied that by this decimal here, it tells me how much is in this part of the circle. Approximately 54%. And if you look at the circle, it looks like we have just more than half of the area colored in yellow. So let's do another one. This time I have a 135-degree circle. And it looks like my area is going to be less than half. So I'll plug in 9. Oh, and I did this as 9, so let's pretend this says 9 feet. Sorry, I made a mistake. We're just going to pretend this is 9 feet. I plug in 9 for the radius, 135 for my arc. So that sector is approximately 37.5 or 38% of the whole circle, 0.375. The area of the whole circle is 81 pi. And when we multiply those together, we get that the sector is 30.375 pi feet squared, or 95.43 feet squared. So I want you to pause, and I want you to try this one on your own. So I plug in my 13 radius and my 120 arc angle. Looks like my sector is 33% of my whole circle. My whole circle has an area of 169 pi. So when I multiply that out, I get, in terms of pi, 56.33 pi centimeters squared, or 176.98 centimeters squared. So I have two I want you to do. I want you to find the area of this circle, and then I want you to find the area of this sector. Give it a shot. If you have questions, make sure you're ready to ask them in class.